What is up, everybody? Nick Fiore, Furious Nation, right here on YouTube.com. It is Tuesday, August 17th of 2021, Tuesday afternoon. I am Nick Fiore, and right here on the channel is the preview and predictions video for WWE SummerSlam 2021, taking place and in Las Vegas on Saturday, August the 21st. Yes, you heard it, folks. For the first time ever, I believe, for a SummerSlam in the history of SummerSlam taking place on a Saturday, usually on a Sunday, but I believe they have some kind of UFC fight going on Saturday and that day, and I think that's why. And then NXT TakeOver this Sunday, August the 22nd for NXT TakeOver 36. I'll be previewing that show on Thursday this week with Cameron Johnson of the CNE podcast over on Twitter as well. So look out for that. But few things. Haven't been posting a lot of videos lately the past 2 months because of work, and that's why haven't been posting a lot of shit at all on YouTube the past 2 months because of fucking work, and just haven't had time because of work and posting videos, tired from getting home from work and shit. And but I hope to change that pretty soon. I'm gonna try in my power, but I'm really gonna try and change that all I can. But anyways, this week being SummerSlam week, and as you can see, I have a guest here on my channel. He is a very good friend of mine. Been really good friends, really good friends for about at least 10 years, I would say. Wrestled in high school over in Monticello and Sullivan County. He's a very good friend of mine. He he watches wrestling, but he watches some AEW, as you can see with the AEW shirt. He's been trying to keep up with the WWE product, but Monday Night Raw, man, and the drizzling shits. And in fact, and today, August 17th, my mom's birthday, by the way, she turned 58 today. Yesterday,
happy birthday, Mom and Nick.
Yeah, and yesterday, August the 16th, my birthday, 25, I turned yesterday, and that was Raw, and that was the same day as Raw last night. And I'll be bluntly honest, I didn't even watch Raw last night, and you know what? I'm fucking glad I didn't watch, because Raw last night was dog shit. It was dog shit. One of the worst Raw SummerSlam go-home shows in the history of Monday Night Raw. One of the worst go-home shows for Raw of all time. And honestly, I'm not excited for SummerSlam outside of the SmackDown side with Roman and Cena, Edge and Rollins, and Bianca and Sasha, which could be canceled at SummerSlam, possibly because of COVID. Sasha and Bianca have missed some house shows for WWE recently, and maybe COVID related, which I hope is not the case. But anyways, my guest here on the channel, the SummerSlam preview and predictions video right here in the Furious Nation YouTube channel on YouTube. Very good friend of mine, and loves wrestling fan, but he's been watching AEW, and he's been trying to catch up on the WWE product as well, but Raw's terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest for the SummerSlam preview, John Doherty. How are you doing, John? Making his debut on the Furious Nation channel, by the way.
I'm so excited to be on the Furious Nation. I'm so excited to see. I watch your videos. I like them. You told me about this. You have such a great passion for pro wrestling, and see you actually record and put your opinions out there is awesome. And then when you told me about it and said maybe one day you can get me on, I go, Nick, I'm a bit of a casual, so I don't want to get beat up by your hardcore fans. But I've been watching a lot lately, and I'm glad to be here. It's fun. This is going to be. But really
even
fun.
This guy being a casual, he's smart enough to know what makes sense and what doesn't make sense on a frequent weekly basis, especially with the WWE product over on Mondays and Fridays. I know SmackDown's a lot better, but Monday Night Raw is the worst show on television. It really is.
The Monday night's hard. Monday night is hard to watch. My experience from watching the last I think 6-7 episodes is hard to watch. Doesn't seem to have much of a direction. Seems a lot.
It feels lifeless. There's little to no effort on that show whatsoever. And then you got Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard running the show. You got Vince showing up late the night of Raw, like 15 minutes before the show, he sees the original script. He rips up the script and he rewrites the whole show, then he rewrites the entire show all by himself.
It must be. I mean, RK Bros is entertaining, but that's about it. That is about it.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of anything else. RK Bros.
RK Bro is literally the only good part of Raw. Legitimately.
See, it feels like it.
It almost feels like with Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne when they were the Bruiserweights tag team in NXT back in early 2020 before the pandemic hit.
Yeah, of course.
So, but yeah, Raw is the drizzling shits as always, and such. But the SummerSlam card, I mean, this Sunday at SummerSlam, honestly, I'm not excited outside of the SmackDown side. What do you think?
Let's run down the card here. The Raw side is really just a whole bunch of it's bad, man. Drew McIntyre, you know, like I said, I am a casual, but watching him with Jinder Mahal, I don't get it. I'm just confused by the whole story. It seems very much like Drew's the face, right?
He is.
And he terrorizes Jinder every week. And I don't feel bad for Jinder. He's annoying.
They're having Drew McIntyre scripted to tell these like Loch Ness monster stories that in Scottish wars that no one even remembers. It's like, who gives a shit?
And I was listening.
And not only that, Drew not long ago was on top of the world as the WWE champion and then did the WWE title picture, and now he's relegated to trash like with Jinder Mahal. It's like, I feel so bad for Drew, and he has to be relegated to this garbage.
Yeah, it's
unbelievable.
It's not fun. It's not
they
fun.
Need to get Drew out of this quickly and move him on to something more relevant.
So do you want to start off right there?
Well, we're going to talk more about that in a little bit, and we might as well get started. But before we get started, make sure to hit the like on the video. Be greatly appreciated. Hit the subscribe button as well. If not done so already, make sure you subscribe and hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell as well for all notifications so you're always notified and all. About 59, and my goal when this year started, 2021 started, my goal was to hit at least 50 to 60 subscribers. I would love to hit at least 60 or more by the end of the year. I'm at 59. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications, Superman punch that bell for all notifications, super kick it, punch, smash it, hit that bell for all notifications, and follow me on Twitter at FioriNick579 over on Twitter. Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram at NicholasFiore2014. Again, at Instagram at NicholasFiore2014. And follow me on Facebook at Nicholas.Fiore.31 over on my Facebook page. You can add me as a friend on Facebook if you like. John, where can we follow you on social media wise?
If you like if you like funny tweets, John Ryan 7X is the place to go. But as far as following and subscribing, like you go hit that Furious channel, you go hit up Nick. If you want pro wrestling talk, you go to Nick Fiore. All right.
And speaking of SummerSlam, actually doing the preview here with John Doherty with the SummerSlam preview predictions video right here with the channel. John's younger brother Matt has a podcast. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to John's younger brother Matt.
Thank you.
The SummerSlam review on the channel, as far as that goes, preview predictions for SummerSlam. John and I, SummerSlam review, myself and Matt right after the show for SummerSlam this Saturday, right after the show. So look out for that. And let's get started, folks. So we got 10 matches here on the card for SummerSlam, the second biggest show of the year. And I remember the days when SummerSlam just felt like SummerSlam. You get excited and, the build up and you get so hyped up for SummerSlam. And it's supposed to be your second biggest show of the year, number one show of the year being WrestleMania. Like I said, I'm not excited for SummerSlam. I'm excited the SmackDown side, man, to be honest. The Raw side just feels like shit. Like the Raw women's division is terrible. The tag team division on Raw, there is no tag team division on Raw. The Raw mid-card has potential. They do have mid-carders. They just don't use them. And the main event is just, and And the main event just, Raw is just bad. It really is. And it needs a complete overhaul. It really, really does. But the first match on the show, and we might as well start, speaking of Monday Night Raw, the 10 matches on SummerSlam this Saturday night.
Let's go.
Raw Tag Team title match. AJ Styles and Omos defend the Raw Tag Team titles at SummerSlam this Saturday against Randy Orton and Matt Riddle of RK Bro. They've had this story recently where Orton took some time off, and then a few weeks ago on that Raw in Chicago, I believe, for in Orlando, one of them, it was a few weeks ago, not long ago on Monday Night Raw, where Orton returned and opened the show. Yep. And they had the story with Riddle and Orton. Could they really get along? Or it's like Orton saying, could he trust Riddle? And then Orton walking out on Riddle. And then this past Monday, actually last night on Monday Night Raw, it was Randy Orton last night on Raw versus Omos.
Yep.
And the match, I was thrown out because AJ Styles interfered, and then Matt Riddle made the save, and then Randy Orton finally, accepted where it's like they could, then Orton and Riddle finally saying they hugged in the ring, and it's like, okay, we're a tag team now. We're gonna beat AJ and Omos for the Raw Tag Team titles at SummerSlam. In fact, SummerSlam this Saturday in Vegas, that's Matt Riddle's hometown, actually, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So this is a big thing in Matt Riddle's hometown, man. And with the story of Orton and Riddle, it's like, it's almost, I don't want to say like Kane and Daniel Bryan of Team Hell No. It almost reminds me, if you watched NXT in early 2020, they had the 2020 Dusty Rhodes Cup Tag Team Classic in NXT in early 2020. The team that won that against the Grizzled Young Veterans at TakeOver Portland was the Bruiserweights of Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle. And Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne it was an oddball pairing tag team, but they were very, very good together. Very, very good. And they ended up winning the Dusty Cup, and they beat Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish for the NXT Tag Team titles, in fact, at TakeOver Portland a month before the pandemic hit back last year in March of 2020. So I feel like Randy Orton and Matt Riddle of RK Bro, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Bruiserweights. And with SummerSlam, now I know usually WWE loves having the hometown guy lose, but with the match and with the story of Orton and Riddle not getting along, then they can get along and all. I feel like you're not going to have them finally pair up and have them lose to AJ and Omos on Saturday. I feel like the Raw Tag Team title should go to RK Bro. And then as far as AJ Styles and Omos goes, I don't know what you think of Omos. I mean, to me, he's still very green. He has a lot of work to do. But I feel like AJ Styles, man, he got drafted to Raw in the October 2020 WWE draft, right? I feel like ever since then, AJ Styles hasn't really been like the AJ Styles we all know and love when he was on SmackDown Live in late 2016 when he was the WWE champion, when SmackDown Live was actually awesome back in late 2016 before that Jinder thing in 2017.
Back when
I feel like
SummerSlam was
after
awesome.
SummerSlam, AJ and Omos should really split. And I would have AJ on his own. And if there's a draft this fall, I would honestly move AJ Styles back to SmackDown, if I'm being honest. Imagine AJ versus Roman in a SmackDown program over the Universal title. Take my fucking money. And they had very underrated matches back in 2016 at Payback and at Extreme Rules, if you remember. So What are your thoughts on this Raw Tag Team title match? Who do you think wins? Where do you think all four guys could go from here? The floor is yours, brother.
All right. So we called a lot to take in there. Like I said, your knowledge is great. We call almost, like you said, he's green. He is definitely green. I think I do see a lot more potential with him than a lot of these other Vince McMahon big guys. Like he all he does is really throw people around, but it's not super.
He's fun. Almost like, though Braun Strowman, all he does is
there's potential.
Because Braun Strowman, all he does is run fast.
Yeah, but AJ Styles, I don't like the pairing between the two. It really feels like AJ Styles is taking a step down, and it feels like he needs almost like all the time to win matches, and that's not AJ Styles. AJ Styles is
the pairing makes no sense. Like, why are they even together? They've been pairing together since the Raw after the draft last October in October 2020, and it's like remember when AJ Styles, this was before Gallows and Anderson got released in April of 2020 with the peak of the pandemic, and then they had these budget cuts, and I think Kurt Angle got cut. Rusev, who's now a Miro in AEW, got released from WWE in April 2020 with all these massive cuts in April 2020 with budget cuts, the COVID-19 pandemic and all.
Yeah, of course.
Anderson and Gallows, before they got released in April 2020, Gallows and Anderson with AJ just made a lot more sense. AJ with Omos, like, what do they have in common? Like, why are they even together? They haven't even, like, it's been months since they've been paired, almost a year since they've been paired together, and not one explanation as to why they're together. Not one explanation.
It makes no sense to me. I don't dig it. I think, if you wanted to put Amos with someone to elevate him, that's fine. But I don't think AJ was the guy to do it, because I feel like a lot of fans are upset with how much you're taking away from AJ. He's so incredible. Been watching him since he was in TNA. He's the man. And like you said, I do hope maybe they push him over to SmackDown. We get some shows with some matches with Roman Reigns, because I don't like what's going on here.
And not just with Roman, you got Shinsuke Nakamura with Rick Boogs. With Nakamura's now, he recently won the IC title from Apollo Crews this past Friday on SmackDown, and Nakamura is now with Rick Boogs. So, by the way, Rick Boogs is awesome. And I feel like ever since the pairing with Rick Boogs, Nakamura's just been like, reborn. He's just had a new lease on life, in my opinion. Yeah, no. So I really don't want to. Still no explanation as to why they're together, but it just works.
Yeah, but so I really would.
And now Nakamura has the crown. He's now King Nakamura. I mean, Nakamura and Styles has been done so many times, but with this current Nakamura now, and if AJ's built up right, I don't know how you feel about another AJ and Shinsuke match, but I don't know. Maybe if AJ's built up right, I mean, probably have them away for a while before revisiting that match. But that's just me. You could do AJ on SmackDown versus Roman or Seth, Edge. AJ Styles versus Edge hasn't happened yet.
That would be great. That would be amazing.
AJ Styles and Cesaro, even AJ Styles.
Yeah. I just don't want to see AJ Styles with Amos, and it's nothing against AJ or Amos doing in the programming.
Not at all.
It's not working. I just feel like it's not working. I feel like the plan is to elevate Amos, and it's just, I feel like you could have picked someone else. You could have picked like maybe a mid-card baby face to cheer to go along with Amos, but I'm not a fan of what they're doing here.
Or have Amos by himself to have a mouthpiece. That's not AJ Styles. There's this
just
Dynamite NXT by the name of Malcolm Bivens. I remember before the pandemic, there was these NXT local Florida house shows, and Omos was wrestling at those NXT local Florida house shows, and Malcolm Bivens was like his manager / mouthpiece.
Yeah, so
almost a big 6-foot tall guy from the NBA and such. So
yeah,
I remember I saw it on Twitter with these NXT local Florida house shows, and Malcolm Bivens was a mouthpiece / manager for Omos, and it just fit like a glove. It wasn't even on NXT TV yet, but I don't know. I mean, it's better than Omos. It's better than Omos with AJ Styles, in my opinion, because AJ Styles, he's a main event guy.
Yeah.
AJ Styles with Omos, you don't do that to a guy like AJ. He is a main event guy. Oh, but he's 45 years old, man. He's 45. He's nearing 45, but the guy can still go like if he's 20 to 30. So who gives a shit how old AJ Styles is? And that's another thing I want to talk about real quick. Like, what really irks me is like, oh, this wrestler's too old, or he's in his 40s or 50s, he's too old. Really? In wrestling these days, age is just a number. As long as you can still keep up with the guys as long as you can still keep up out there in that ring, and as long as you're moving around like you should be moving, like if you're younger, then who cares how old you are? Like AJ Styles is nearing 45. Finn Balor is 40. Kofi Kingston just turned 40. Daniel Bryan's 40. CM Punk's 43 years old. Kenny Omega's in his late 30s. Rey Mysterio is nearing 50, and he's moving around like 30.
Yes. Hey,
legitimate.
So, let me. These are all
Ambrose, Rollins, Reigns, Moxley / Ambrose, and Rollins and Reigns. They're in their late 30s, right? But they're moving around like they're younger. So age doesn't matter in wrestling anymore. As long as you can still keep up, who gives a shit how old you are? Unless you're like Goldberg and you're moving, and if you're 50 and if you're moving around, and if you're in your 50s and you're moving around like if you're 75, then it's a completely different story. But we'll talk about Goldberg in a little bit.
Yeah.
But what do you think? What do you think in the Raw Tag Team title match?
I hope they I think it's going to be Randy Orton and Riddle. I think they're going to set them up for some type of rivalry, some type of formation to split them up later down the road. I just hope they don't hurt AJ Styles too much here, because there's no way they're almost is getting pinned cleanly. So I really just hope they don't hurt AJ too much here. And I think RK Bro is actually entertaining as hell, and they can do some fun stuff in the ring. So I hope they could pull it out, and I think they will. And I just don't think almost gets pinned any type of cleanly if he does happen to get pinfalled over. But we'll see what happens.
I agree. I'm picking RK Bro to win those titles as well, and as they should, especially in Matt Riddle's hometown this Saturday in Las Vegas. And Omos seeing the pin, I highly doubt that. And he's this big guy, and they've been building him up as this dominant guy. I mean, hell, this guy fought Orton last night on Raw. Orton was trying to get the RKO, and Orton could barely RKO this guy. You're building Omos up as this dominant fucking monster, and you're not going to have him lose. And if you're building him up, you're not going to have him take the pinfall. It's almost certain as if AJ has to eat the pinfall.
Yeah, I just hope they don't hurt AJ too much. I just really hope they don't hurt AJ, because I mean he can return. Like he won't get buried. He's so good that he'll find a way, find himself back. But he is 45, and more time it takes for him to build up, that's less times we get to watch him. So I really hope they just do it as fun as and entertaining as possible without hurting AJ too much. We'll see. I'm being a little hopeful here too, Nick.
Yeah.
I am being very
even
hopeful.
At 45, he can still go in that ring.
Yeah, he's great. He's amazing, man. He's amazing. I don't think age is a problem unless you look like Goldberg. So
Or if you're like Kurt Angle, who's 50, you can barely walk. Or if you're Big Show, can barely walk. Or if you're like Ric Flair, that's 72. Or Chris Jericho at 50, and he's barely keeping up, and he's losing several steps, and he's botching his own moves, and he's getting up there and aging. Then that would be a completely different story.
Yeah, no. So that's how I feel.
But yeah, we both got RK Bro on the board here. AJ and Omos, I would be shocked if they retain. I don't think they do. I think now is the time to give those belts to RK Bro. And if they beat RK Bro, who else is there for AJ and Omos? There's nobody. There's like the tag team division on Raw, there are no teams. You have AJ and Omos, who I don't even consider a tag team. You got RK Bro. You got the War Raiders, and they've been sitting and catering lately on Raw. Where the hell are they? Mustafa Ali and Mansoor, they're okay. Then you got T-Bar and Mace. I don't consider them a tag team. T-Bar / Dominic Dijakovic should be on his own. Mace / Theo Madden should be back in NXT at the PC, because he's clearly not ready. And then you got the Lucha House Party. They're sitting and catering, making fucking tacos and burritos for Titus O'Neil and catering on Raw.
Yeah, well, I was.
So there's no tag. So it's like with the Raw Tag Division, there are no tag teams. There's none.
I was gonna ask you, Nick, because like I said, I am a casual, so I'm confused. Is that Raw has 3 hours to work with, and I'm watching Raw, and I'm watching Raw, and they keep using the same people over and over again, where I don't understand. Like some of the guys you mentioned on the roster, I haven't got a glimpse of. I don't even know who they are as of right now, or where they've been. I thought maybe one of the guys might be injured or something, just because I'm not totally enwrapped in the, and why are they wasting so much screen time on guys who don't need it? Whereas build up a tag team contender, because I don't know where RK Bro goes after this.
Exactly. But then you got this 24/7 title bullshit with Reginald, and he's getting more TV time than the War Raiders and all. And he's getting more TV time than them, and it's and nobody has an issue with that.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And Reginald, he's got cool flips, but I really like the tag team wrestling.
He serves no purpose though on television whatsoever. He serves nothing.
And the Viking Raiders seem to be a good tag team, so I don't understand why we're not giving them more show.
And Keith Lee's another guy. Reginald's getting more TV time than Keith Lee, and Keith Lee hasn't been on TV in a few weeks.
Keith Lee, I saw him get washed by Bobby Lashley. Then he's gone.
He was used as a stepping stone for Bill Goldberg. Legitimately.
Oh, Bill Goldberg.
Fuck Bill Goldberg, by the way. He's a disgrace. I'll never forget what he did to Bray Wyatt in Saudi Arabia last year in February 2020 at Super Showdown. Now Bray Wyatt's released foolishly, and now he could end up in AEW.
I wish Matt Riddle would have kicked Bill Goldberg's ass. And for you guys who don't know, Matt Riddle is a legit fighter. I'm a huge MMA fan. I can tell you right now, he would have kicked Goldberg's ass in real life. Whatever. I'm done. I'm done with that.
But yeah, let's move on here. We both got RK Bro on the board. Yeah, we got a lot more matches to talk about. RK Bro, we both got on the board.
Yep.
Eva Marie with Doudrop, or I'm not calling her Doudrop, it's Piper Niven from NXT UK versus Alexa Bliss, who now has Bray Wyatt's fiendish character. They released Bray Wyatt, but they give Bray Wyatt's fiend character to Alexa Bliss, who's, in my opinion, not a good wrestler. This is my piss break match. I'm not watching SummerSlam. And I want to tell you something right now. You don't have Jeff Hardy on the card for SummerSlam. You don't have Tony Storm on the card. You don't have Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart. You don't have Keith Lee. You don't have the War Raiders. You don't have Mustafa Ali. You don't have Mansoor. You don't have Karrion Kross. You don't have any of these guys on the card. But you have Eva Marie on your fucking card.
Yep.
And you have no issue with that. Eva Marie, one of the worst wrestlers, 4 years gone, and she still has and she hasn't improved at all. Oh, but she tries, man. Tries where? Eva Marie was released from WWE in 2017. 4 years later, she comes back literally with Eva Marie. Nothing has changed. It's the same old shit with Eva. Same old shit. And now Piper Niven's like her bodyguard. Eva Marie, it's like you release Ruby Riott, you release the Iconics, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, you release Chelsea Green and Mickie James, you release them, but you bring in Eva Marie.
Yep.
It's unbelievable to me, John. and I've said this on before. I wouldn't be shocked if Eva lasts 5+ years, like more than 5 years in this company. I'm telling you right now. Just like with Adnan Virk, who failed as a Raw commentator, I'm telling you right now, bro, Eva Marie's not going to make it. The woman sucks. The woman is not a wrestler. She's not a wrestler. And this Eva and Alexa shit with this doll Lily. This is the state of Monday Night Raw. Fucking dolls. And Piper Niven being hypnotized by a fucking doll and Alexa Bliss voodoo shit. They released Bray Wyatt, but they give Bray's themed character to Alexa Bliss.
Yep.
Do you know how fucked up that is?
Well, for me watching this, I really, when it comes to pro wrestling or sports entertainment, as WWE wants us to say,
fuck sports entertainment.
Don't worry, I know.
I want wrestling.
In pro wrestling, I gotta say, I really don't like the darker characters as far as like spooky, like Undertaker. I don't but I will make exceptions if the character works. Bray Wyatt, it worked. Undertaker, it worked. Like there's very
Aleister Black / Malachi Black, who's now in AEW, that works.
That worked. Those spooky characters with Alexa Bliss, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me at all. Like I get
it's not getting over.
No, and they're trying to find something from her, but I don't like the especially with Bray not being there at all. I do not like I don't like it. I don't like it. If it's not, like I said, I'll make an exception if it's really good character, if they provide something to the show. And I feel like Bray provides something to the show. Undertaker back in the day, of course, added to the show. Alexa Bliss as this character does not add to the show at all, and it makes it very goofy, and I guess
makes it worse.
Like, and if we're doing, I get it's PG, but is this for the kids? Is this is this character for the kids?
It's legit. This legit caters to the fucking casuals who don't want to see the product get better.
I don't.
I know John. I know John here's the casual, but he's smart enough to know what is good television and what's not. This is not good television.
Nick, I like to refer to myself as a smart mark. You know what I'm saying? I will get fooled. I will do this, but I'm at least a little bit smarter than the average mark. So instead of casual, I do smart mark. So yeah, I don't get it with Alexa Bliss. I'm not a big fan. Eva Marie.
I mean, sorry about the casual thing, but John is smart enough. But John is definitely smart enough to know what is good television, what's not going to insult the fans' intelligence, like what makes sense, what's logical.
I like good storytelling. You know what I'm saying, Nick? I really like good.
You want good wrestling, but you want logic behind it too.
Yeah, that's what you want.
And then it's like you get the trolls on Twitter. Oh, all you love to do is bitch about Raw every week. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Excuse me. It's like if you don't like what we have to say, or if you don't like what people like me and other people in the IWC have to say, go watch a show who's not going to tell you the truth and who's going to drink the Kool-Aid and who's not going to tell you like it is. That's not what people like me do here, or other people in the community. That's not what we do.
No. And so
we do.
Do you have anything else?
And it's like you think we want to come on here and complain every week. That's not what we want to do. We just want a good show. That's all we ask.
And it seems like we're not asking for.
And then it's like you get the trolls. Oh, you love to hate. Stop hating. No, it's not. It's not hating.
As a fan, I love to hate, but I also only hate on what's worth hating. And Alexa Bliss and Eva Marie, that is worth hating. I'm sorry.
It's not good television. Nobody want it. It should not. It's not good television. It should be off the television. It's literally like no one gives a shit about it. And the match will bomb at SummerSlam. I'm telling you right now. This is my piss break match. Who wins? I don't care. I really don't care who wins. Let's move on from this. I mean, even Marie winning, I don't care. Alexa Bliss winning, I don't care. I'm just not watching the match. This match better go like less than a minute, like 30 seconds or less. I'm not watching the match.
A squash match? Yeah, I don't know.
Who gives a shit about Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie? This is a waste of everybody's time.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan. Get to have Keith Lee off SummerSlam, but they have Eva Marie on.
Yeah, Eva Marie and
that's
this
it.
weird.
And when you have that, you know you got a problem, big time.
Exactly. Let's move on, Nick. Let's get on to something maybe that'll make you less angry.
Yes, absolutely. Something. Yes, right here. Edge versus Seth Rollins.
All right.
Taking place this Saturday at SummerSlam.
All right.
We had the story going into Money in the Bank where Seth wanted Roman for the Universal title at Money in the Bank. Then Edge came back and no one expected him to be back. He came back as a babyface. And then Edge was awarded the match with Roman for the Universal title at Money in the Bank. Then on Talking Smack, Seth was pissed that Edge got the shot before him. And then Edge versus Roman took place at Money in the Bank for the Universal title. Very, very good match, by the way.
Great.
We had Seth interfering, costing Edge the match and the championship. And that's what led to this match here, bringing up a little bit of their history from 2014, that last Raw of 2014, where it was the cutting edge or the peep show. And this was before Edge was cleared to wrestle years before. And Seth threatened to curb stomp Edge and paralyze him with the curb stomp on the Money in the Bank when Seth was Mr. Money in the Bank back in the end of 2014. So they brought up a little bit of that. They also brought up with Seth Rollins when he used to be with the Shield with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, who's now John Moxley in AEW.
Yeah.
So they brought that up and all.
They always say Dean Ambrose.
Lately with this story and going into SummerSlam. But I feel like this is a dream match. And with Edge, when he was cleared to come back, and I remember the big pop he got at the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble. And I was thinking, man, with Edge back, one of the dream matches I'd love to see him in against is Seth Rollins. And at a SummerSlam. And we're getting that this Saturday. Seth, good wrestler, but he's a clown on social media. But also married to Becky Lynch, and she's rumored to come back very soon. So, and I could see her going to SmackDown. But, anyways, Seth Rollins versus Edge.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, with Edge with SummerSlam, I honestly thought we were going to get Edge and Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam because they had unfinished business with the Road to WrestleMania season this past spring.
Yeah.
Edge and Bryan and Roman in the Triple Threat Universal title match in the main event of WrestleMania this past April in Tampa on night number 2. When I thought we'd get Edge and Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam, but rumors are that Daniel Bryan's going to AEW, specifically in New York City on the AEW Grand Slam episode in New York City on September the 22nd on Dynamite. So
we'll see.
Daniel Bryan could very well be AEW bound, but CM Punk's definitely locked, but Daniel Bryan could very well be All Elite.
Yep.
So I thought they'd go with that with Edge and Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam, but with rumors of Daniel Bryan going to AEW now we got Edge versus Rollins. Should be a good match. Edge and Roman. I mean, Edge and Roman were supposed to be one-on-one at Mania. I mean, I didn't agree to that with Mania, but I agreed with it at Money in the Bank. The reason why is because Edge and Roman's really a non-Mania match, but a Mania match with Edge and Roman, I don't think would have been as good. But Edge and Roman had a very good match last month at Money in the Bank. And all the match was very, very good. I expect this match to be good here with Edge and Seth. Edge, I like Edge. Not a big Edge fan, but I do like Edge. I feel like Edge doesn't need the win here. He's pretty much bulletproof, in my opinion. I feel like with Seth losing to Cesaro this past April at WrestleMania, and Seth's been losing a lot of pay-per-views this year as of late. He lost the men's Money in the Bank last month at Money in the Bank to Big E, who's now Mr. Money in the Bank. He lost to Cesaro at WrestleMania, like I said. So I feel like with Seth versus Edge, I feel like Seth needs to win here more than Edge does, and that's just me. I feel like Edge losing to Seth isn't going to hurt Edge because he's bulletproof, so I'm going Seth Rollins to win here. Should be a good match, but I feel like their build has been very good. In fact, I think it's better than I think it's a better build than the Cena Reigns match, in my opinion. Even Reigns and Cena half-assed it though. Should still be a good match at SummerSlam with Reigns and Cena, but the build could have been so much better with Reigns.
Yeah, and we'll get to that.
But we'll get to that. But I'm going Seth Rollins to be Edge here. What are your thoughts on this Edge versus Seth Rollins match, and who you're going to win here?
Yeah, we call it. Like you said, I'm not the biggest Edge fan, but Edge was when I was mostly watching. That's who was like the big guy, one of the bigger guys at the time. So I think he pulls in a lot of, and he was on that show Vikings, which he did a good job on. So I think he's going to pull in. He's got everything you want. He pulls in the casual. He's a great in the ring. He's great he's great everywhere on the mic. Great at building. Him with Seth, I think this was the only logical, two to put together when you could think about, because you're like, man, who else do you want to see? Edge. It's like those guys, those are the two you definitely wanted to see. So I was happy they brought them together. Like you said, with a lot of the losing going on, and the way Edge's status is in the WWE, one of those guys comes in part-time, then leaves. I really feel like they're gonna somehow stretch this out. So I think Edge is gonna win, but it's gonna be by like Seth Rollins getting DQ, getting mad, or whatever, something goes off the handle maybe a little bit. I think we're gonna get a false, kind of. I think we're gonna get a less than lackluster ending. And it's gonna come out with Edge with no real winner, but I'll take Edge by Seth DQing himself or something of that nature. I would imagine, and then I feel like this match gets stretched out for another bigger place. Whether it's WrestleMania, I don't know.
So you think they're gonna continue this feud?
Yeah, I think they're going to continue.
The next pay-per-view in September after SummerSlam is Clash of Champions. I don't know how well that's going to fit in.
Yeah, I don't know how that would make sense.
But and also Edge, and also with 2021 this year, I think this may be Edge's last match for this year, but then he goes away for a bit before he comes back for WrestleMania season. That's another thing.
Oh, see, all right. See, this is why I'm the casual. You're the expert. With that information, yeah, I still feel like they set this up for somewhere down the road. You know what I'm saying? So whether I think it's
So
ends in
not
some
like
type
a
of no
clean
contest.
finish.
No clean finish going on. But I feel like they're going to continue this because I don't feel like they're going to feud end it. They're going to end the feud just at SummerSlam. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's more stories to tell, I think, between these two. Oh, but I don't like what they're doing with the whole. I don't like the build of the Seth Rollins. They're calling him. They're putting in this narrative that everyone thinks Seth is Edge Light, which feels very copying of a story with Chris Jericho and HBK. Like that whole "I'm copying you" thing, and I was like, I never gained that. I feel like Seth has always been his own guy. I don't like that build. I've always liked Seth as his own competitor and performer. So we'll see though.
John's got Edge to win. I'm going Seth, but it's all good though. It's nothing wrong with that. But should be a good match.
Should be
Saturday.
a great match.
But we'll have to see what they do with Edge and Seth going into Saturday in Vegas at SummerSlam.
All right.
Next match, we got the U.S. Championship match from Raw, with Sheamus defending the United States Championship against Damian Priest. Damian Priest was in the Men's Royal Rumble this past January, had a decent performance, but he was eliminated by Lashley, which I didn't like. Since the Rumble, he's been feuding with Miz and Morrison and still fighting Miz and Morrison every single Monday on Raw, which I have a major problem with. He was teaming with Bad Bunny, and they beat Miz and Morrison on night one of this year's WrestleMania back in Tampa in April. And they've had Damian Priest wrestle Sheamus as well, teaming with Ricochet on Raw as of late. Damian Priest and Sheamus fought in a non-title match one-on-one a few weeks ago on Raw. They called it a champ, and they're now calling it a championship contenders match, where if you beat the champion, you're the number one contender for the title, which I don't like. And they fought each other a few weeks ago. Now they're fighting again at the pay-per-view. So I'm going into this half caring, to be honest. And champions shouldn't lose clean in non-title matches, period. I hate that mentality. It makes the champion look weak. That Damian Priest beat Sheamus in a non-title match on Raw a few weeks ago, and I didn't like that whatsoever. It's like your Sheamus is your U.S. champion. He shouldn't be losing clean in non-title fashion. That's what I don't. That's one of the things I don't like about WWE. They have their champions lose. It's like, oh, you're a champion. You can't win. You have to lose to get to your next challenger. It's lazy booking. It's lazy fucking booking. And I mean, it should be a decent match, but I just don't care going into this. And I feel like, and I like Sheamus, I do. But I feel like with Damian Priest, I feel like he needs this win or he's buried.
Yeah.
My opinion. You need to strike. I don't want strike while the iron's hot. I wouldn't say Damian Priest is, I don't know about red hot right now, but I don't know if I'd say that, but because Raw is shitty fucking booking, but Damian Priest, I feel like, has to win that U.S. title on Saturday. If he doesn't, he's buried. And who else is there for Sheamus? Like Ricochet for Sheamus? We've seen it before. I feel like now's the time to give Damian the U.S. title. So, yeah. And Damian Priest, for a big guy, he can really move, man.
Oh, yeah. No, Damian Priest is... I
remember watching this guy when he was Punishment Martinez in Ring of Honor in 2018, and he's come a long way, man. Then he signed with WWE in late 2018 and was started in NXT. Now he's on Monday Night Raw since the beginning of this year. I mean, he's not Humberto Carrillo level in terms of buried on Raw. He's nowhere near Humberto Carrillo level territory in terms of like a loser and being buried. But he needs to beat Sheamus on Saturday. I like Sheamus, but Priest needs to win that title on Saturday. Your thoughts on it?
Thoughts on the whole build has been, I think it's been terrible, Nick. I don't. It's one issue that I have with anytime I come into watching pro wrestling. I'm always very. I think there's some easy points you should hit. Like what is, who are the two combatants? Who are the two wrestlers? What is their issue? And who is the good guy? Who is the bad guy? These are all very simple things. Watching, why is the story taking place? Why is it important? All these, very, very simple things when it comes to telling stories among pro wrestling. I don't understand the story going into this, and I say that with a little bit of a smirk, but it's the fact that Damian Priest is competing, is feuding with, Miz and Morrison, but then he's also feuding with Sheamus, and all four of them are kind of in this weird triangle circle where one's fighting one week and then the other's fighting another 1 week, and one match is important to this storyline but not important to that storyline. It's all very confusing. It feels, and then now there's some turmoil with Miz and Morris. I'm so confused by this match. I just hope there's some clarity. I'll go with Damian Priest as well, because he needs beating John. Win. Yeah, he's also been burying John Morrison the last 3 weeks.
And Damian Priest has literally fought Miz and Morrison since the Rumble. That's like what? Like 7 months? Like rinse and repeat. Like we've seen this almost every single week and almost every single month since late January. This is rinse and fucking repeat. Miz and Morrison versus Damian Priest. We've seen it how many times now on Monday Night Raw? It's enough,
Yeah, no, and I you know what? And I know
or we get a handicap match, or we get Priest versus Miz, or Priest versus Morrison. Like it's just been done to death. It's like enough of that already. Move Priest on to somebody else. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Priest wins on Saturday and he feuds with Miz and Morrison, or one of them, over the U.S. title. I don't want to give them ideas, but I hope to God not. And if Priest wins the title, who else is there? Miz and Morrison, no thank you. Like, what else? What other heels are there on Raw in the mid-card to fight Priest for that title if he beats Sheamus on Saturday? And that's another thing that, like if Damian Priest wins the U.S. title, one, I'm happy for him, but is it hard to care? Because look what they did to Sheamus. Look at what they did to Apollo Crews when they won the U.S. titles in the past. Like, that's just how I feel. Yeah. Because look what they did to Sheamus recently. It's like, was an MVP, but then he did nothing with him.
Yeah. It
fighting Humberto Carrillo, who's done nothing to earn a shot at the U.S. title. And then Mansoor, just...
I understand.
And I like Sheamus, I really do, but I'm going Damian Priest on Saturday. He has to win. So I'm going Damian Priest to win this thing. And
I'm hoping Damian Priest just to give the guy some direction, because I don't
just give him his first mid-card title and the U.S. title at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and I just don't.
It gives Damian Priest something to do.
Yeah, because and real quick, Nick, I just want to point out how upsetting it is to watch from casually watching now. Feels like the U.S. and Intercontinental title feels like doesn't matter. It does not matter.
It's just there.
A trinket. It's a trinket that gives people something to do, and we don't have to give a reason why they're fighting. We just know it's the U.S. or Intercontinental title. So, I hope Priest gets it.
I'm happy now for won the IC title on Friday, but it's just, but cool, it's like, can you really trust him? I hope I'm proven wrong, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But Damian Priest hopefully wins on Saturday. But do you trust Monday Night Raw to book Damian Priest right as U.S. champion? I don't.
No.
He needs to win on. I don't trust Raw to book Priest right as U.S. champion, but he has to win on Saturday.
They got to do something, man, because you gave him the Bad Bunny shine at WrestleMania. Come on, they gave him the Bad Bunny shine. I don't know I just want them to just get direction. Hopefully there's direction out of this title match. Like, the worst thing that could happen is like the Moist Most Wanted interrupts it and then leaves even more
Moist TV. Don't even get me started on that with Raw last night. That was dark. With Johnny Drip.
I know you don't find it as funny as I do. I do find it hilarious, but it's all right. I'll take your word. It's not supposed to be there.
It was a bad segment last night. It was bad.
It's for the casuals like me, Nick.
But this guy here may be a casual, but he knows what's good television and what's not good television, folks.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a great build-up. It didn't build anything. It was, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully Priest wins and maybe we get some new direction for the US title and Priest maybe. And Sheamus. Anyone who's involved in this weird build-up, I hope there's new direction for. But what we
moving
got next?
on, we got talk about this, and I don't want to talk about this long at all. Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal.
Don't say it. I said don't say it, Nick. No, you have to say it. You have to say it.
It's unfortunately on the card. Another piss break match, but Drew and Jinder, man. Oh, but it's 3MB history, man. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? What are they even fighting over? I have to ask, what are they even fighting over? And Jinder Mahal, this guy killed SmackDown Live 4 years ago in 2017 when he was the WWE champion. Something that that show is still not recovered from that. And now Jinder's with Veer and Shanky, his two big muscle guys, and they can't even beat Drew McIntyre last night on Raw in a handicap match. Drew beat him clean.
Clean as a whistle, Nick.
Yeah. Hit one of them with the Claymore kick, and that was it. And now they have the thing, and they actually had the handicap match last night on Raw, where if Drew won, Veer and Shanky would be barred from ringside. And John, I want to ask you this real quick, and I don't want to talk about this much at all.
No.
Am I the only one? And I saw this on WWE's YouTube channel earlier this morning. Veer and Shanky barred from ringside at SummerSlam with Drew versus Jinder, right? And I don't want to give you nightmares. Am I the only one that thinks the Great Khali could show up on Saturday and cause Drew the match?
Oh, please don't.
I don't want to give you big nightmares for 3 weeks. I had that with Battleground 2017 when with Orton and Jinder in the Bujambi prison and the Great Khali showed up for one night. Then he disappeared after that. That gave me nightmares legit for 3 fucking weeks. And I don't want to give you nightmares for 3 weeks with that because that was terrible back at Battleground 2017. Am I the only one that thinks Khali could show up on Saturday? God, I fucking hope not. Please no.
Don't say it. Please don't speak that. I wasn't even thinking it. See, the worst thing I can imagine.
The Great Khali, one of the worst world heavyweight champions of all time.
Yes, 100%. The thing that makes me more nervous. Now, that's pretty nerve-wracking, to say the least. And like you said, I don't want to waste a lot of time on it because I don't even know what's going on with that man. It's
Drew versus Jinder, like, who gives a shit? No one cares about it.
Like this, honest to me, Nick, this really, if there's no shenanigans, which I really hope there is. I really hope it goes the way I'm going to predict this. Is that if we call it Jinder over here does not have those two guys who they sound like Disney characters off of like for comedy relief characters and movies. Like they, no offense to those two human beings, but they are just not. Whatever they're doing, I don't get it. It's not fun. It's not interesting. It's Drew bullies these guys every week, and we cheer for him, which, you know, because we love Drew, but like, they're not even good bad guys. They're not even like scary. They're not providing any story. I hope this is a squash match. I hope Drew McIntyre takes him out in 30 seconds, like some Sheamus, Daniel Bryan shit. Like I want 7 seconds.
Yeah, just have Drew hit the Claymore kick on Jinder and just move on with that shit. It's like, I feel bad for Drew. This guy not long ago was on top as a WWE champion in the WWE title picture. Now he's relegated to this shit with Jinder. Drew deserves so much better than that.
He's got such a great.
I'm glad it's not over the WWE title, but Drew deserves a lot better than this.
Yeah, he's got a great look. He speaks well for what he's, you know, he's got a great moveset. Just don't put him with Jinder. Like, please don't put him with Jinder. Like, Jinder is Jinder is hard to watch, man. It's
like
cringy.
Drew versus
It's very
Jinder. Just
cringy.
get it over with the match at SummerSlam and just move Drew on and then just move Drew on to something else.
Please, I'm hoping. I'm really hoping. Like, does Jinder really bring him in any eyeballs? Like, there's no way.
Like, you release Bray Wyatt, you release Aleister Black and Ruby Riott and Buddy Murphy, and you release Bray Wyatt, but you keep a guy like Jinder Mahal. Jinder's lucky to still have a job. They should have released him not long ago. They should have released him a while ago.
Yeah, I'm tired of. I've only watched Jinder for a short amount of time. I'm very tired of Jinder. Very tired of Jinder.
But yeah, I'm hoping to God Drew wins and I hope the match is not even long whatsoever. But I have nightmares of Khali coming back and helping Jinder win, just like with Battleground 2017. God, I hope not. But I'm going. God, I hope fucking not, John. God, I fucking hope not. But I'm going Drew to win this thing against Jinder. Don't even care about the match, but I'm going Drew.
I'm hoping this is. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next. I'm going with Drew. We then. What happened? I said I'm going with Drew as well, but we can move on. I don't. There's nothing really important to say about that match.
No, not at all. So then the next match on the card, we got the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between the Usos and the Mysterios of Rey and Dominic Mysterio. We had the Usos beating the Mysterios for those SmackDown Tag Team titles last month at Money in the Bank, but before that, we had Jimmy Uso with a DUI arrest.
Yeah.
But they win the titles anyways. You know the reason why they don't want to, even with the DUI arrest with Jimmy Uso, and they gave the Usos the SmackDown Tag titles anyways. You do realize
my man RVD over that.
They want The Rock with this Roman Reigns Tribal Chief storyline, and they don't want this to be fucked up at all. So, in my opinion, I think that's why they gave the Usos still the titles anyways. I believe if there's a draft this fall and Naomi's married to Jimmy Uso, and if there's a draft this fall, I expect Naomi to turn heel and move over to SmackDown and join Roman and Heyman and the Usos with this tribal Samoan takeover Tribal Chief SmackDown storyline with Roman. And I do think we get Roman Reigns and The Rock for the Universal title next year in Dallas at WrestleMania. With this Roman Reigns Tribal Chief SmackDown story, they have to get they got to at least try and get.
100%.
I heard very recently the Survivor Series this November. They confirmed it about a day ago. Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, is the confirmed location for this year's Survivor Series in November, and so we could get The Rock very well there to set up Rock and Roman at Mania next year in Dallas for the possibly Universal title, maybe, but. I think that's why they're still having the Usos as the SmackDown Tag Champs anyways, because they really want Roman to do the story with The Rock. And they want to try and at least get The Rock. So that's just my take on that. But Usos and Mysterios should be a decent match, but I like both teams, but I feel like Usos should move on after the Mysterios. I don't expect Mysterios to win, and if they do, then what's the point of giving the Usos the titles last month? And I feel like the Usos should really retain here. Them losing to the Mysterios doesn't make any sense, in my honest opinion. So I love the Mysterios, but I'm going Usos to retain. And Dominic Mysterio has been teasing a little cockiness. And do we get Dominic turning on his father, Ray, and do we see the Mysterios break up? But what are your thoughts on the Mysterios possibly breaking up? And what are your thoughts on this match? Who do you think wins? The floor is yours, John.
Yeah, so I think like you said, I think they're not gonna take the belts off the Usos, even with a DUI, because we've seen in the past with WWE, like I said about before, about Rob Van Dam, if you get a DWI, they'll take your whole push away.
Wasn't Rob? I mean, RVD was WWE champion in mid 06. Wasn't he and Sabu I think it was late June, early July of 06? Weren't RVD and Sabu pulled over for DUI, and RVD was arrested. Then RVD was punished. He was in the doghouse, and I think that's why they had him lose the WWE title to Edge and then the ECW title the next night to the Big Show. I think that's why.
Yeah.
Then he
right before SummerSlam too. So he had to get rid of those belts. Or I believe it was
I think he was arrested. I think he also violated the wellness policy, I think.
Yeah, but anyway,
And
yeah,
I
no,
think, and
you're
I
right
think,
on all that.
and RVD fucked up. And I think probably if it wasn't for that, RVD probably would have held those titles, the ECW title and WWE title, probably a bit longer.
Oh, 100%.
I
So,
think
but
then the RVD probably just fucked up.
yeah, but I did want to gloss over that point. But yeah, I think the Usos want the WWE wants the whole tribal chief thing to all come together, and I think you're 100% right on the Usos taking this W. Like you said, I like both teams. Brought up a little bit of Dominic. I think Ray's never been a heel in the WWE. Never been
He's
a
not
heel,
turning.
and
That
it's never gonna happen.
Very Florida feet. He's never turned in WWE once.
No. So, but with Dominic, what else do you do with Dominic once they lose to the Usos? It's like, what else do you do with Dominic? Do you just keep? You gotta have to turn him heel. Like what he, he's still pretty green. He can go a little bit, but it's not great. I think there's a lot of, and I like Dominic. I'm really hoping he does well. I just think this is going to be set up for turmoil between Dominic and Ray, and yeah, the Usos win it, and I think it'll be a decent match. I think it'll be a better match than most people think it will be. Like,
hopefully they don't put the handcuffs on these teams and on these two teams and let them just go out there and go balls to the walls. Hopefully they'll let them go out there and just let them fucking wrestle.
Ray can still really go. Dominic, you can mask a lot of his shortcomings.
And Ray's 46, 47, but he wrestles in the ring like if he's 20 to 30.
Yeah, no. So I really think if you just mask.
So like I said, I believe in this video earlier, like it doesn't matter how old you are. If you can still go in the ring, then I don't give two shits how old you are, unless you're Bill Goldberg.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'll take the Uso. I'll take the Usos there, and then there'll be some turmoil set up if the turmoil doesn't start with Dominic and Ray.
Yeah, and plus with Dominic Mysterio, he can't be looked at as just only Ray's son.
No. He's not going to be the key. Well, with Ray,
it's like he's not bad in the ring. He's not the worst of all time. He's really not the worst at all. But to be a champion in any pro wrestling promotion, you need to have good in-ring skills, but you need to be able to talk.
Unless you're Jinder Mahal.
Yeah. I haven't listened to Dominic Mysterio speak a whole lot just yet, but I do feel like he probably needs work on the mic. And probably a heel turn could work.
He needs work on the mic. Yeah, I don't know if I completely believe in. I don't know. I feel like Dominic. It's just I don't know what else you do with him after if they lose to the Usos. Yeah. I don't know, and I don't know if heel turns the answer because of his skills on the mic as they stand, but they gotta have to do something with him. And I don't see why not turning him heel would be a bad idea, unless because Ray is a big merchandise seller and he's big into the Mexican audience. If Dominic doesn't do the same for you as far as bringing to the merchandise and bringing yourself into the Mexican audience, then turn him heel, because then he's just a normal star with a really big last name, which you can do plenty.
He's just another guy on the roster. He's just there. He's just a normal guy with the famous last name. That's not. Yeah. You need more than that.
Yeah, and
look at a guy like Andrade when he was in NXT in 2016. He was a babyface. He came out as this like how someone pops out of a birthday cake.
Yeah.
With white suspenders when he was a babyface in NXT in 2016, and NXT was Andrade, and then in late 2016 they turned him heel, and then they put him with Selena Vega, and look what happened with him in NXT.
Yep.
Before he got demoted to the main roster.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think Dominic just got
maybe a heel turn. Maybe a heel turn could work for Dominic Mysterio. I don't know, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see. Yeah. So what we got next, Nick?
So then the next match on the card we got, and this match could be off the show, but I hope it's not the case. SmackDown Women's title match. Bianca Belair defending the SmackDown Women's title against Sasha Banks. Sasha and Bianca actually fought once before for the SmackDown Women's title and the main event of night 1 of WrestleMania in Tampa this past April, where Bianca won the championship. And the match was very, very good. They also got ESPN awards on that a while ago as well.
Yep.
Second time they're fighting, Sasha versus Bianca. And then when Sasha came back a few weeks ago on SmackDown, she comes back. She saves Bianca from an attack from Carmella and Zelina Vega. Then that same night on SmackDown, main event tag team match with Vega and Carmella versus Bianca and Sasha. Bianca and Sasha win, but then after, Sasha turns heel and does the backstabber to Bianca, then puts Bianca in the bank statement. And now apparently Carmella and Vega now possibly paired with Sasha Banks. I don't know how you feel about that, but we got Sasha and Bianca for the SmackDown Women's title for SummerSlam. Hopefully the match is still on, but I am hearing, and we might as well talk about this real quick right now. Ringside News, a lot of rumors on Ringside News, man. The recent couple WWE house shows lately, Sasha and Bianca were supposed to be on the first two, the couple of them very, very, very recently. Bianca and Sasha were supposed to be on them, but they were but it was canceled, and they ended up, and they would say, then they made the announcement at the house shows that very, very recently that they were not going to be on the shows for certain specific reasons. But I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know if it is it, but I hope to God it's not related to COVID-19. I hope it's not COVID-19.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them, did one of them test positive for COVID, or Delta? I hope it's not the case. But I don't know what you think on that, but I hope to God the match is not canceled. But and we'll talk about maybe possible replacement, but I don't know. What do you think on these rumors and such? Sasha and Bianca missing these couple house shows as of late, very, very, very recently, and all. And what do you think about the match if we still do get it? Hopefully we still do get it on Saturday.
Yeah.
And what do you think of Sasha back as a heel and Bianca? What do you think? What are your thoughts on all that?
On all of it, one, I just hope the match goes on. I'm not going to try and speculate because who knows? They already canceled one of those matches on NXT. Sorry for being a casual.
Wait, they canceled the match on NXT?
Yeah, hold on.
Wait, which match tonight?
No. What is it? We got title match pulled from WWE NXT. Oh no, tonight. WWE promoted a big show for tonight. This is from Ringside News. We promoted a big show for tonight. They built it in as a championship for Tuesday. Where is it?
Oh shit. Oh, I'm just reading it now. Oh shit. Kushida. Not clear.
Yeah, there.
Tonight. Yeah, tonight NXT. The NXT before TakeOver 36. One of the matches tonight for NXT. Supposed to be one of the matches tonight. A NXT Cruiserweight title match between Kushida defending against Diamond Mines Roderick Strong. Now that match is canceled. I'm just seeing this now, folks.
Yeah,
shit.
So that's why
they're saying Kushida is not medically cleared or is not cleared for action tonight. I don't know what's going on, man, but I don't know if I don't think he's injured. I don't know if he's medically not cleared. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's COVID. I don't know what's going on. I really don't, but hopefully Kushida is okay.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Also, but to get back to the Blair and Sasha Banks story, I don't know. I just really don't know. It's gonna hurt them. I really do think though they don't have.
There's not one good women's match on the SummerSlam card outside of that.
That is the only good women's card, which is unfortunate because they got plenty of talent here and they just did a little better storytelling. I really feel like some of these matches could be at least watchable. But yeah, I really hope it doesn't get taken off because Sasha Banks is actually probably my favorite woman wrestler to watch, if not my favorite. Like at least is definitely a top 5. She's awesome. I don't love how they turned her into a heel. Like I kind of knew, like right off rip, she was gonna be a heel. Like there's another star on SmackDown. There's another star for the title, and they already had an amazing match at WrestleMania. They're just gonna rerun it. So why the turn.
But this time with Sasha,
like I want to be invested and then swerve. Yeah, like I want to be invested and then swerved, knowing I felt like she was gonna come back and be a heel. I'm not in love with the storytelling, but the match I'm in love with, and I hope they do not cancel it. I really hope they don't. As far as who would win, I'm not gonna lie to you, Nick. As far as who would win this match, as far as the result, I couldn't tell you. I really don't. Like both superstars, both wrestlers are amazing. I think they both bring in money. I think they both bring in great storytelling. I think they're both good for the brand, whether it's Sasha or Bianca. But I guess I would go with Bianca just because she's a face. And I think they really want to promote a good face as a women's champion right now. And but I really just don't. Because I can't see how it helps Sasha if she loses, and I don't see how it would help Bianca if she loses. And I know that kind of sounds pretty dumb. Like, well, losing never helps, but I feel like Bianca's pretty high right now. But Sasha, if you beat her now, what do you do with her afterwards? Do you just continue the feud? Man. I don't know. I'm a little perplexed by the whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion, good match, yes.
Go for it, man.
It should definitely be a good match at SummerSlam if it's still on. Hopefully, it's still on. But I don't know how you feel. I like Bianca, but what has she done with the SmackDown Women's title since she won it at Mania? She hasn't really done much with it. She's fought Carmella. She's fought Bayley. And the promo battle she had with Bayley going into Hell in a Cell and Backlash this year, Bayley's outperformed her in promos, but in the end, the matches were good. But outside of beating Bayley and Carmella, what has Bianca really done with the SmackDown Women's title? Nothing. And I like Bianca Belair, but I feel like she hasn't done anything with it, in my opinion. No. And I feel like with Sasha just turning ill, I feel like Sasha has to win. And with Toni Storm now on SmackDown, my take was what I was thinking, give Sasha back the championship at SummerSlam, and then you build towards Sasha and Toni Storm for the SmackDown Women's title, possibly for the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania next year. And Dallas and Toni Storm could win the Women's Rumble and beat Sasha for the SmackDown Women's title. And with Toni Storm beating Sasha for the SmackDown Women's title next year in Dallas, Texas at WrestleMania. That's just me.
Yeah, no.
And if Sasha wins the title back at SummerSlam, you have Tegan Nox for Sasha to wrestle, Shotzi Blackheart for Sasha Banks to wrestle, and all.
No, so, and you have a better feel for
Becky Lynch when she comes back.
Well, I was going to ask you if Becky, whenever Becky comes back, it's looming sooner or later.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when at this point.
And I was going to say
I can see Becky, and since Seth Rollins, her husband's on SmackDown, I could easily see Becky going to SmackDown.
Yeah, that would make sense for traveling.
And they like to keep couples together.
Yeah, no, it would make sense. And as far as storylines, I think you could put Becky anywhere and you'll be fine. But
I'd much rather her on SmackDown though than Raw.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Raw is just jeez.
I mean, the Raw Women's division, you have a superhero character as the Raw Women's champion. That's a joke. We'll get to that after this though.
Yeah. So I'm just curious as with Bianca. I think the only way they take it off Bianca is if they think, all right, we've done what we could with Bianca for now, and we want to run some heel stuff. And then I think if Sasha does win, I mean, it is set up for her and Becky. I mean, Becky comes back, will come back with now live audience will be huge. The pop she will get will be amazing. So yeah. I really, you might be right.
Mama Lynch over there, who's Becky Lynch, is now a mother.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, I need more of a feel. Definitely need to watch more to get of a feel. So I'll take your your thoughts on this more to the bank before you take mine, because this is one where I'm up in the air and I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm going Sasha to win this. I feel like with Sasha recently turning heel, you gotta It's like strike while the iron is hot. And if Sasha loses, what else do you do with her? I'm going Sasha to win this. Hopefully we do get the match on Saturday. If we don't, maybe we get a Bayley Ding Dong Hello segment. I know she's still injured, but recently I've seen Twitter photos of Bayley in a knee brace with no crutch. So maybe we get Bayley Ding Dong Hello segment. Maybe we get that this Saturday at SummerSlam if Sasha Bianca match can't make it on Saturday.
Yeah.
And maybe we get a Bayley Ding Dong Hello segment, then Becky. Then that leads to the return of Becky Lynch.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And like you said, Becky, when she returns, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. When she returns, she will get a big, and I mean a big pop.
Yeah, no, she's gonna be.
Will it do anything for the women's division with her being back? No, but I'd much rather her on SmackDown than Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I think injecting her into if they don't know what to do, I think that'll give some maybe those idiots in the boardroom something to do because something to figure out. Becky's not a woman who's selfish, and she's not going to go off and only put herself over everybody. No. She's not like Goldberg only puts himself over. No, not at all. So what do we got next, Nick?
So the next match on the SummerSlam card, we then got the next match, triple threat match for the Raw Women's title. Nikki, hold on. Nikki Ass, Nikki Trash, Nikki Trash Can, Nikki Ash Can Tray, Nikki Ashtray, Nikki Cross, Nikki Ash, Nikki Trash versus Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley, triple threat for the Raw Women's title. Nikki Cross with the superhero gimmick as the Raw Women's Champion's a joke. Though, and they had Nikki Cross or Nikki Ash win the women's briefcase last month at Money in the Bank. And the next night, Raw, she cashes it in. Less than 24 hours later, beat Charlotte for the Raw Women's title. They Money in the Bank cash in. Then they had Charlotte versus Nikki Cross on Raw the next week after that. Nikki Cross loses the Charlotte non-title match clean. Raw Women's Champion losing clean. Guess on Raw Women's Champion Nikki Cross, you got there, Bruce and Vince. Yeah. You clowns. And then then the shit involving Nia, and then Nikki Cross, the Raw Women's Champion, losing clean. Non-title matches as of late on Raw's the Raw Women's Champion. Rhea Ripley is just dead on Monday Night Raw. Charlotte's nauseating, and Charlotte's not even number one in the women's division anymore. It's really Becky Lynch now. And now Charlotte, her soon-to-be husband Andrade, he's now in AEW. And now Charlotte's father, Ric Flair, he's now gone from WWE, and he's heavily speculated to go to AEW's Ric Flair now.
Yeah.
So do you possibly see Charlotte leaving WWE to go to AEW to be with her husband and father? I could see that. I mean, Charlotte, is it going to make the AEW women's division better? Because Charlotte's selfish, but Charlotte in WWE in the women's division, she's really not number one in that division anymore there. It's really Becky Lynch and then Sasha, then Bayley.
I was going to say, I would even argue that Sasha's ahead of her as well, too. And I keep forgetting
Sasha's way ahead of Charlotte.
Yeah.
So. Always has been, always will be.
Yeah. I think
but Rhea's just dead on Raw, and Charlotte just nauseating with the agenda and all. And then Nikki Cross, man, is superhero gimmick as the Raw Women's Champion. That is a joke. I can't wait for Nikki Cross to lose that title. The sooner that title's off of Nikki Cross, the better. It's a joke with her.
To who though? To who? To Charlotte or to Rhea? I don't even know what the answer is.
Exactly. I mean, Charlotte's nauseating, but I'd much rather Charlotte than Nikki Cross. At least Charlotte doesn't go around running like a clown like Nikki Cross is with the superhero gimmick.
Yeah. So what are your
and then Rhea's just dead on Raw. She's been dead ever since she lost to Charlotte at WrestleMania 36 when she lost to Charlotte. She's been dead since then, and Rhea still has not recovered from that.
Yeah,
Charlotte's just selfish, and Charlotte is someone that buries talent. Charlotte only puts herself over.
Yeah, but I could see here with a situation like you said with Andrade going over there, and then Ric Flair just got released. I could see though the WWE sucking up so hard to Charlotte because they're afraid to lose that. I mean, to be totally honest, I think Charlotte's is a casual fan eye grabber. Like, I mean, Nick, I could tell you back, I believe in 2016 or 17 when we went to SummerSlam. I was there, because I wasn't. 18. Yeah, I wasn't when we went. I didn't know much about the storylines going in, but I knew who Charlotte Flair was. I knew who Ronda Rousey was. I knew who Brock Lesnar was. Those are names that casuals will light up to hear the Flair last name. So I think so. And with the Flair, with Flair and Andrade and AEW, I really see Charlotte, the WWE. I think they're going to start sucking up to Charlotte. I think it's only going to get worse before he gets better. I don't think they want to lose her.
And they want Charlotte to break Ric Flair's record.
100%.
What's Charlotte at now for women's champion? Like what, 11, 12 times? And they recently stated NXT women's, and they recently stated her NXT women's title reigns don't count either, which I find very stupid.
I don't understand. Well, we don't know what's going on with NXT, so I mean,
well, NXT I'm hearing is getting a complete overhaul, but I'm hearing reports of no more midgets and big and young. But I hope to God those rumors aren't fucking true. Hope to God not.
Yeah,
but
we'll see, right? We'll see.
Yeah. But yeah.
So
with Charlotte, man.
What are your thoughts on this whole? What are your thoughts on this whole lineup?
But yeah, with this triple threat, I don't care. It's just like you beat your Raw Women's Champion a bunch as of late. On Raw, champions shouldn't lose in non-title matches. It's just lazy ass booking. Nikki Cross superhero gimmick. It's just terrible. And I see people on Twitter. Oh, but it's over, man. Yeah, I've seen Twitter videos at the recent WWE house shows, Nikki Cross coming out to booze, or if not booze, then library silence. Raw was even in Chicago a few weeks ago. Nikki Cross came out to booze.
Yeah.
Ron Orlando, Florida last week, Nikki Cross came out to fucking booze. Or if not that, then library silence.
Yeah. The superhero gimmick is really in 2021.
Yeah, Nikki Cross is over, right? Sure. The Nikki Cross superhero gimmick, it's a failure. If this was NXT Nikki Cross when she was Insanity, if that Nikki Cross was Raw Women's Champion now, then I wouldn't. Awesome. Then I would not be shitting on it at all.
No, this Nikki Cross as this.
It's
Nikki
like
ASH.
this superhero gimmick, the almost superhero gimmick. It's a failure.
It's corny.
It's a failure.
It's very corny.
It's like the Hurricane back in 2002, but back then it was a different ballgame, and back then it worked. And at least with Hurricane, it wasn't over the top like Nikki Cross with the current superhero gimmick is. And it's
we weren't lining up. Hurricane to face Triple H at WrestleMania or anything. It
even
was
back
fun.
then in 2002, Hurricane wasn't booked as over the top, and it's though it's like a guy like Hurricane, like back in 2002 when on Raw and Triple H was World Heavyweight Champion. You were not going to have the Hurricane beat Triple H for that World Heavyweight title. That would have if they would have did that, that would have been a joke. You weren't. You were not going to do that, and they didn't do it.
No, Triple H had a run of terror, but that would have been even more eyebrow raising. But not a fan of the Nikki ASH. It's very corny. It is. I think it is.
It's almost. It's like you might as well bring back the Hurricane at this point and be like, and then like stand back. There's a Hurricross coming through.
That'll at least get a pop. You know what I'm saying? That'll at least like get a little bit of a pop. You can't do it every week, but if you brought back Hurricane, you get a little bit of a pop. Unlike with Mrs. Nikki Cross, which is unfortunate because she's had better
but
gimmicks.
It's like with the Hurricane, it worked with the Hurricane back in the day, but it doesn't work anymore now in 2021. It doesn't.
And it doesn't work for world titles. It doesn't work for world titles.
It doesn't work for world titles at all. It's like it's an outdated gimmick, and I mean, with a gimmick like that as a world champ for the women's division or a men's division, it's a joke. It's a joke. And that title needs to come off Nikki Cross quickly. They need to get that title off of her fast. And I can't wait for her to lose that title. And Nikki Cross, before this, she was in months on Raw sitting in catering. And then I'm sure it looks like she was in the back wanting to pitch a new gimmick that would work. And I'm sure Vince and Bruce in the back on Raw came up with the worst gimmick, and then Nikki Cross accepted it. She's just as bad to accept it.
See, the problem I really think is I was listening to the Busted Open podcast, and Bubba Ray said something along the lines of, they don't know how to write for badasses anymore. They got goofy and funny down to the extent, but they can't write for badasses anymore. And I think this is a product of that happening, where they can't, they're running out of, they don't know what to do if they brought in another Becky Lynch or another Rhea Ripley when she was on NXT. Like they wouldn't know what to do with so many, badass characters on one show. So I think giving her this character is their way of going, we know goofy and corny. We know little kids. We know little kids what they like as far as to buy get their parents to buy merchandise. Superheroes work for little kids and goofy and stuff like that. And I think that's why they did it, because the writers are just not very creative at this point. They're just not, they don't have enough they don't have enough creative skill set to have a Rhea Ripley, a Becky Lynch, all these great badass characters on one show. So they have to go to something more corny and significant that'll get over with the kids, which
exactly.
I guess that's,
I expect
that's
Nikki
where the
Cross
money's
to
made.
win this thing, though. I mean, I'm going Charlotte, because Charlotte plays politics, and don't be surprised if Charlotte wins the title on Saturday. But I wouldn't be surprised either if Nikki Cross wins, because she's been losing. I'm with Nikki Cross. She's been losing a lot lately on Raw's Women's Champion, so I'm going with Nikki Cross, but.
Yeah, I think what they like though about Nikki Cross, what she does provide, she provides that underdog feel. Like I feel like at Money in the Bank, when she won the Money in the Bank, I think people were just so shocked, like that she won, they were happy. And then, oh wait, we're actually gonna give. Oh wait, she has the Money in the Bank. Then she wins the world title. Oh wow, this is shocking. This is cool, but now. But it's not very fun. So the only way I think she gets a pop is if looks like she's about to lose. And right here, I think she's going to be put in a position where she looks like she's going to lose, because she's been losing a lot. And then the win will be, wow, look how awesome, the underdog, even though she's the fucking champion.
Yeah, but Nikki Cross isn't over though with this gimmick.
No, I think she gets the kids to pop, and I think that's more important.
But that's about it. But other than that, she's going to be booed out of the building.
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate because Nikki Cross.
I don't know. Better. Yeah. I mean, Nikki Cross's superhero gimmick as the Raw Women's Champion. It's a joke at the end of the day. It really is. They need to take that title off Nikki Cross now. It's not working. It's not working at all. But we got the last two matches to go over. WWE Championship, Bobby Lashley with MVP versus Bill Goldberg.
Try not to beat up Goldberg too bad right now.
Goldberg, his second match. There's three more matches left with Goldberg on his current contract, including this one on Saturday at SummerSlam. Right. Goldberg and Lashley, do you expect this to be less than 3 minutes? I know I expect it to be, because Goldberg can't wrestle more than 3 minutes.
I wouldn't bet over 4. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't bet over something significant.
Do you think Goldberg's gonna win here?
He might.
I hope not. I hope not. But I'm hearing maybe Biggie. But does Biggie he's Mr. Money in the Bank right now? Do you see him cash in here? Because Lashley had this thing lately before this thing with Goldberg. Lashley destroying Kofi and Woods of the New Day. Do we see Biggie cash in Money in the Bank at SummerSlam and win the WWE title? But if you're gonna do that, I'd much rather Goldberg beat Lashley than have Goldberg get cashed in on by Biggie, and Biggie beats Goldberg for the title to cash in, and that at least it protects Bobby Lashley, because you got to make Lashley look strong.
Yeah.
Because if you do Biggie cashing on Lashley, neither guy could lose.
I really do feel like that Lashley's going to get screwed in this whole thing. He's going to get screwed.
I hope to God not. The worst thing is the Goldberg winning the title. That's it. I hope that's not the fucking case. I really hope to God not. I expect this match to not be good at all, and I expect this match to be less than 3 minutes, no more than that. I am not expecting. I'm this match. I'm not expecting anything good at all. I'm really not. I wouldn't be surprised if Goldberg wins, honestly, because Goldberg's selfish. Look what he did to the Fiend in Saudi Arabia at Super Showdown 2020. Buried the Fiend. Then the Fiend was dead. I don't trust Goldberg to put over Lashley at all. I don't.
No, I don't either.
I really hope Lashley goes over, but I don't trust Goldberg to do the right thing at all. So I'm going Goldberg.
Yeah, man, this one really is a tough one because you're right. Goldberg,
go on.
They protect Goldberg so much, but I really don't want to see Lashley lose any of his
momentum.
But I feel like they might kill it here. But what do you do next with Goldberg? Like, what the hell do you do next with Goldberg?
They don't even need Goldberg there at all.
They don't. Oh my God! Like I get we had to do something.
He's just there for a fucking paycheck. That's all he's there for is Goldberg.
I'm gonna go a little bit more positive side. I'll say Bobby, but with some screwy finishes. So they protect Goldberg and no cash. That's what I'm.
I would be shocked if Goldberg loses clean, but I don't trust Goldberg to put Lashley over.
No, I feel like I'm putting my prediction as Lashley wins, not clean, some shenanigans for whatever reason, and there's going to be no cash. I think they'll give Goldberg something to build up to for like Survivor Series or something. I don't know, but unfortunate.
Yeah, then we got the main event for SummerSlam, and it should be the main event at SummerSlam this Saturday. We got the Universal Championship match. Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman in his corner, with Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship, with the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against John Cena.
Yeah.
Against John Cena. So we had Roman Reigns and Edge at Money in the Bank Universal title match. Really good match. Roman retained in a very good match. Roman then grabbed the mic when Edge and Rollins brought in the crowd. Reigns grabbed the mic. He said, "Acknowledge me." Then John Cena's music hit at Money in the Bank. Big pop. And then we had this thing involving Finn Balor. Do you think he gets involved and makes it a triple threat? And I'm hearing stuff. Cena could be sticking around for a month or two after SummerSlam. So could you see Cena winning? Could you see Balor being added and making it a triple threat with Cena taking the pinfall? Do you see Roman retaining? What do you see here? Like, if the rumors are true of Cena sticking around for 1 or 2 more months, and also Cena, he also has a movie to film in Europe right after SummerSlam. So does he stick around for 1 or 2 more months? So that's another thing to think about. But with Reigns and Cena, man, this build could be a lot better, in my honest and brutal opinion, and all. Yeah, but 100%. Hopefully the match is good, but it should be how they should book this match. Have Cena come close to beating Reigns and trying to make 17 break Ric Flair's record for world title record. But then Roman kicks out. Then Roman just absolutely demolishes Cena, and he gets Cena to acknowledge him.
Yeah.
That's how I think they should book the match at SummerSlam with Reigns for Cena.
Yeah.
I don't think Cena should, and I'm not a huge John Cena fan. I'm really not, but he should not beat Reigns. And Reigns, and I've said this for weeks. Roman Reigns is like an untouchable god right now. And John's younger brother, Matt, and I DM'd each other on Twitter about this right after Money in the Bank last month. Roman Reigns is like an untouchable god right now. He should not be losing. Roman should not lose Roman Reigns, like, he should not lose that Universal title at all anytime soon. He should not lose the title at all right He's that good. He's like an untouchable god at this point. And if he beats Cena, then if he beats Lesnar, and then if he beats The Rock, he's like just god-like level. And I mean god-like level. Why would you have him lose right now? And I see some people on Twitter, oh, when's Roman going to lose? I'm sick of Roman as Universal Champion. Like, you're the reason why Raw sucks. And Roman's that good. Why would you take the title off him? When you're that good at what you do, and if you're holding a championship, you don't take the title off them. When you have someone else along the line that is close enough to Roman's level or higher than Roman's level, then that's when you can take the title off Roman. If not, then he should have a title reign like Walter, who's the current NXT UK champion. And do they have someone close enough to Roman's level right now? No, there's nobody at Roman's level right now at all. There's nobody. There's nobody.
Yeah. No.
Nobody right now at all. But so until you have someone and you build up someone that's close enough to Roman's level or higher than Roman's level, or at least close enough to Roman's level, then that's when you can start discussing taking the Universal title off of Roman Reigns. Roman is so good right now. He should not lose the title at all. Why would you like the Universal title? Why would you take it off Roman right now? He's that good right now. You don't take a title off someone who's that fucking good. You don't.
Yeah, and I hope they don't.
And Matt and I discussed about this individually, DMing each other on Twitter individually. Matt and I even discussed this with that a month ago, right after Money in the Bank last month. And Matt even said it himself. Like, Roman being that good, it's like it makes zero sense to take the title off him. In fact, if you take the title off Roman now, it would hurt him really, really much.
Yeah, it would.
It would be worse than the Fiend losing to Goldberg in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Much worse.
Roman right now is on fire. And I was not the biggest, I've never been the biggest Roman fan until this heel run. This heel run has been amazing. I'd put it up there with other heel runs. I don't want to start, beating on anyone else's heel run, but in the moment right now, watching him, I read somewhere that he wasn't scripted, and it makes all the sense in the world because he's doing great right now. I'm not in love with John Cena, the John Cena build, but with John, and I'm not the biggest John Cena fan. I kind of had enough of John Cena, to be totally honest.
He has put over a lot of different guys, though. We call in fairness, but he gives that big match feel. Like, I don't feel big match feel out of any of this event except for Roman versus Cena. Roman versus Cena gives me big match, big deal. You know why they're fighting. Here's the good guy. Here's the bad guy. And you know what? That's good enough for me. And I really hope Roman just uses his John Cena as, the biggest, one of the bigger, like, I don't mean to say stepping stone, but I mean like something to add to his resume to build on to. The only thing I'm afraid with Roman is like, when are you going to get another star to take that belt off? Who is there to beat him for the championship? This is why you need to build up someone that's close to the Roman's level right now for him to take the title off Roman, and they don't have anybody right now. And do they have anybody close to Roman's level right now? No, and that's their fault.
That's why I was talking about the TV time. They got to give more people TV time because
you could have done Aleister Black, but you foolishly released him, and now he's Malachi Black in AEW.
Good. Hey, where WWE fails, hopefully AEW will start.
And Finn Balor could be the guy, but I don't think he's that guy right now at all. He just came back to SmackDown from NXT.
Yeah, and I don't think WWE believes in him. And I don't, for whatever reason, I guess because Vince
Balor and Reigns, though, do have a lot of history.
And it would be great to see. I think I'm a huge.
If they have a draft this fall, maybe they do Jeff Hardy and Roman Reigns. Maybe they do Drew McIntyre and Roman. Maybe they bring Keith Lee to SmackDown and do Keith Lee and Roman.
These are all hopes.
If they can't get The Rock, maybe if they can't get The Rock for Mania, maybe they do Keith Lee and Roman for the Universal title in Dallas next year at WrestleMania. I don't know.
You know what? I almost guarantee Nick
Roman Reigns versus guys like, I don't know who else they got. Nakamura when the time is right.
Yeah, could do it. could do that. They would have to build Nakamura up, I suppose. But
he's the IC champ right now. You do it later on when the timing's right.
You know what? The only thing I will say with the Roman versus Cena, and just like I said, it gives that big match feel. It's in the stadium in Las Vegas, the Death Star. Nothing feels big match on this card except for this match. This match feels big time.
And the match that is selling out SummerSlam legitimately.
Yeah, this match feels like two proper stars going against each other. The build wasn't great, but with two guys this big, you don't need it to be. And I'm hoping Roman walks out. This is why
it's like you don't need Goldberg on SummerSlam at all. You could have done Lashley and Keith Lee for the WWE title at SummerSlam instead of Lashley and Goldberg. Goldberg's not even needed at SummerSlam whatsoever. Reigns and Cena is all you need to sell at SummerSlam. Boom. In Allegiant Stadium. That's all you need. You don't need Goldberg at SummerSlam. He's not even needed there.
And I can tell you right now, at one point in my life, Nick, I was the biggest Goldberg fan in 2003. You know what I'm saying? It's 2021. We do not need Goldberg anymore.
And ever since he buried the Fiend, Goldberg's a disgrace. He's only there for the money.
Yeah, I don't even know. Does he bring in casuals like that? I feel like as a casual myself,
he's not a draw though.
He must be because they keep bringing him back, but I don't see it. I don't get the.
It hasn't done anything for the raw ratings though. It hasn't.
Yeah, maybe you're right on that. You pay attention more to that because I just don't get it.
Still below they're still below 2 million viewers lately with the raw ratings. So Goldberg ain't doing shit for the raw ratings.
Maybe his son becomes a really good wrestler.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I don't know.
Yeah, but oh man, but back to Reigns and Cena. I'm picking Roman Reigns to win. He should not lose at all.
No, I agree with you totally on that one.
And a loss to Reigns is not going to hurt Cena. Just like Edge, John Cena's bulletproof.
John Cena, he'll be fine if he loses to Reigns. And in fact, it just builds another match later down the road if he really wants to come back and do something. Cena should lose this because it doesn't affect him one way or the other. I mean, he's untouchable. He's untouchable.
If he's filming a movie in Europe right after SummerSlam, then Reigns is definitely winning.
Yeah. So give me. I'll take Roman also, and you know what? I'll even say clean.
But do you think clean. Yeah. I think Reigns could definitely win, but definitely clean. But do you see this match staying one-on-one, or do you see that happening, or do we see Finn Balor being added and making the match a triple threat?
I think what they do with Finn, because we do
because they've been involving Finn Balor a lot with Reigns and Cena a lot as of late.
Yeah, I think what they're gonna do. I think what they'll do is that they'll put Roman over on SummerSlam. And then when it comes to the build up for the in-between, I think Roman's just the big four guy. Like they are just anything that's in between the big four pay-per-views, they're going to just whatever works until they can get The Rock or John Cena or whatever. And I think Finn's going to be set up for the time he's not facing The Rock or a Cena or someone of big name value. I don't think
possibly Reigns and Balor for the Royal Rumble.
That'd be amazing, or a Survivor Series, or something of that nature. But I don't see them doing. I feel like they're going to eventually bury Finn. It's just build them up for the rivalry.
Hope not buried after that. I mean, Reigns doesn't bury talent, but
No. That's talking
Reigns is not a guy that's going to bury talent. It's like Roman has this thing called the Golden Glove, and literally, and this is the truth, anything Roman touches turns legit to gold, and he makes everyone else around him look that much more good. Like, look what Roman did with Kevin Owens at TLC 2020 on the last SmackDown 2020 on Christmas night, and at the 2020 and the Royal Rumble 2021. Look at what Reigns did with Edge and Daniel Bryan. Look what Reigns did with Cesaro. Look what Reigns did with Jey Uso.
Yep.
And Reigns will do the same exact thing this Saturday against John Cena. Reigns will do the same exact thing with Finn Balor and anybody else who steps in that ring with the Tribal Chief.
I hope so, man. I really hope so. But I'll say Cena. I'll just say straight up Cena. loses, it'll be Cena and Roman, and I think Roman goes over clean, and Cena disappears for a little bit.
Yeah,
So, and then they'll set up for Finn Balor versus him for something else.
I could see Reigns beating Cena clean on Saturday, and then Reigns and Balor for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think I wouldn't be mad at that either.
And possibly with Reigns and Balor possibly going into the Rumble next year in 2022.
That'd be great. That'd be amazing. I'd love that.
Yeah, we both got Reigns on the board here, and that is the card, folks, ladies and gentlemen, that is the card for SummerSlam 2021, and that is your video here for the SummerSlam preview and predictions video right here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for joining me and John right here on the channel. John, really great to have you here on the channel, debuting right here on the channel. Really great to have you here. It's really great to have you here and all. So I thought a good debut right here on the channel as well. And hope you guys enjoyed the video here as well, folks, and guys and ladies and gentlemen. And hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for all notifications. It'd be greatly appreciated, as I'd love to hit at least 60 subscribers or more, by the end of this year of 2021. So hit the like button if you've not done so already. Really greatly appreciate it, guys. And you guys are awesome. Love you all. And I appreciate all of you guys and all. And I'm genuine when I say that. And I'm actually very genuine when I say that.
No,
you guys are awesome. Hit that
feel
like
the same. Happy birthday, also.
Yes.
Happy belated
birthday
to you.
Was yesterday, 25.
Yeah,
25 yesterday. Yeah. So
mine coming in December.
Hit the like button, hit the bell for all notifications, subscribe to Furious Nation on YouTube as well. If you've not done so already, subscribe to Furious Nation. And follow me on Twitter at FioriNick579. Follow me on Instagram at NicholasFiore2014. And follow me on Facebook at Nicholas.Fiore31. And on Instagram, NicholasFiore2014 on Instagram. And Twitter at FioriNick579. And you can follow John on Twitter as well.
Don't worry about me. Worry about getting that subscriber list over 60. That's what I'm worried about. So we'll just get that up, boost Nick's ratings, boost Nick's likes. He talks about it all the time. He loves this stuff. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of them call him just say stuff to say stuff. Nick, you got the goods. So keep doing what you're doing.
I mean, there's some people in this community, man, that want to just drink the Kool-Aid and just sugarcoat everything WWE. That's not what guys like I do. I'm actually honest with what I mean. Guys like me and all, we're honest with what we watch.
Yep.
Like people like me and DJ Storms and Joseph Conlon and JD from NY206. Shout out to those guys as well. Guys like them and me, we're honest with what we watch and we don't sugarcoat anything. When there's good, there's good. If there's bad, we call them out on it.
All right.
It's called constructive criticism. So yeah, it's called constructive criticism. And it's like we're telling it like it is. And it's like, if somebody strolls on Twitter, don't like it, that's too bad.
Too bad.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining me once again for the SummerSlam preview and predictions right here on the Furious Station YouTube channel, right here on YouTube.com. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you liked the video. I'm Nick Fiore. This is John Doherty. And thank you guys so much for joining. And I will see you next time right here in the channel for more good content right here on the channel. See you next time right here in the channel for the preview and predictions video for NXT TakeOver 36, possible Raw review, and then the NXT UK, and Dynamite reviews. Possibly, this is a 50-50, possibly AEW Rampage review. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it yet, but I'm hearing a lot of speculation. CM Punk returning on Rampage this Friday in Chicago, so look out for that. I'm very excited for that, and can't wait to hear Cole. Can't wait to hear, and I can't wait to hear Cult of Personality this Friday, and all. I will see you next time right here in the channel for more good content right here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I will talk to you guys later.